India's trade facilitation journey has really evolved over the years. If you look at 2010, average time it would take to clear an import consignment was 14 days, and this is there in a CAG report. And now if we look at 2022 data, it's about 88 hours. So we are looking at 3.5 days. So I think the trade facilitation evolution also demands that the whole supply chain planning, the whole procurement planning also needs to adapt itself as per the trade facilitation journey. And actually the Government of India is doing a lot in this context, and I have been working with the Government of India on this specifically for last 4 years, and happy to say that after we ratified the trade facilitation agreement of the WTO in 2016, the agreement actually demands that you should be publishing the clearance time taken at major ports in the country, because that helps MSMEs in particular to actually plan their shipments, because they are the ones who actually, face the whole issues around unpredictability. And we have been doing this. This is the 4th year we are doing this at 15 ports in India. And this is a mixture of seaports, airports, inland container depots, and land borders. And we see that consistently the time has been coming down over the years. And it's just not that the time is coming down, even the standard deviation statistically is coming down, which means the clearance time is going down, and there's also a greater certainty that your clearance would be faster. You would be closer to the average. So I think, and this is all thanks to different efforts that are made by the government as well as by different stakeholders. It's not one stakeholder's job. Just as an example, government is doing a lot of digitization at different ports. And one example of customs is they've rolled out this program called Turant Customs Program. It is actually to make the whole customs process faceless, contactless, and paperless. And this was done starting 2020. Earlier, before 2020, you would go to the port, you would see traders running behind customs officers to get their consignments cleared. And now it is all faceless. I don't know which customs officer is clearing it. I could be exporting from JNPT, but it could be an officer sitting in Tughlakabad clearing my consignment. So I think that has really changed, and there are initial teething issues, of course, with any new program that's being rolled out, but that's going to be a game changer for customs clearance in India. And the second issue, what we often see with MSMEs is they don't have a full container load. When you export from or import from seaports, you need to have a full container load. And if you do not have that, we have something called an LCL shipments, which is less than container load, and then different MSMEs would be aggregated. And there was always this concern that was expressed that, MSMEs take, since they are smaller loads and they take much longer for the clearance to happen. And actually that's not true statistically again, and the national time release study which we have done in India 2022 is already out there in the public domain on the Ministry of Finance website, and it shows that LCL shipments are actually cleared much faster than FCL shipments at JNPT, at Mundra, at Chennai, all these major ports. And it's primarily because the duty involved is smaller. The government understands these are MSME importers or exporters, and they actually also make an additional effort to clear their cargo faster. And then, of course, even the custodians at these different ports are taking additional measures. They are digitizing processes. Earlier, you would see traders running around with big bunch of papers and all the forms that they need for delivery. And now I'm just coming back from Bombay. I was there day before yesterday at the port. And you would see traders running around with their mobile phones, scanning their mobile apps. So you see a big change post-COVID. So I think it is a very complementary thing that customs and custodians at ports have been doing. Absolutely. So one, as I said, for customs, it's been faceless assessment. Then secondly, they have also introduced what is called SWIFT. It is single window interface for facilitating trade. And they are integrating more and more agencies there, and more partner government agencies are integrated. FSSAI, animal quarantine, plant quarantine, wildlife control. So all these agencies are integrated on SWIFT now. So you don't need all these hard copies, for a sample going to FSSAI and getting that cleared. Secondly, as I said, I'm just coming back from Bombay. I was at Air Cargo Mumbai, and they explained us that how they have launched something called a D-Cube. It's called Digital Docket Delivery. So everything is there on an Amex mobile app. Everything that the trader needs to show to the custodian to get the delivery of his goods. Earlier, he would carry a bunch of these documents and present them to the custodian. And now he carries this Amex mobile app. He scans his D-Cube and gets the delivery out. So you really see India's ports going paperless, and I think that's an applaudable initiative. I don't say we are there yet. There's always room to do more, but I still feel we have come a long way already. So, hinterland connectivity is always a challenge, I think, given the sheer size of our country, and the ports are primarily located in the coastal areas. But I think that is where ICDs play a role, inland container depots, because they are very well connected with the ports. So one is that you can always go to your local ICD, to your nearest ICD, and government is opening up so many new ICDs just to address this hinterland connectivity. And the second is, if we see the share of road and rail in domestic freight movement in India, road is about 67%. And it's actually much more expensive than rail, but still people are not opting for rail just given the first mile and last mile connectivity issues. So I've done research with Niti Aayog on this, and we actually presented to them a few recommendations that what could be done to increase the rail freight share in domestic freight movement. And one very simple example is every passenger train has 2 cargo wagons. And if you see the statistics currently, most of them go empty. They are unutilized. And we propose them that why not have an Uber-like model, use digitisation, have a technology partner, put 1 cargo wagon for digitisation, and customers could book them online and use them. And once the success of this model is established, then you implement it to the second cargo wagon. So second cargo wagon, Indian Railways keeps it with them. So I think there are various things that can be done to improve hinterland connectivity. And the third thing that's already happening is Logistics Data Bank has started putting their data in public domain. It is a joint venture between a Japanese company and Government of India. And they have an RFID tagging on all the containers that are moving for imports and exports. And based on that RFID tagging, they can actually track the whole container movement right from when it enters into the country till the container is exported back to some other country. So that really helps to actually measure what are the pain points along the hinterland connectivity, and then help the government address those.